Hi guys, so this is my presentation on my final creative project, and I'm going to apologize first. I have been sick. I hardly have any voice, so I am going to do my best to chug through this, and I'm really sorry if I'm hard to understand. Um, okay, so in choosing my creative final project, it was much harder when not given that straightforward direction or topic. I mean, this is the first project of this kind that I've been given in a class. Of course, you have your choose a topic projects like your essay papers where you're told what to write about, or just choose a topic, which are much easier and straightforward. But I think to make a project of simply personal and physical hands-on creation was a first for me. It was certainly a struggle to figure out where to even begin. Also, I've never really been creative or artistic in my perspective. Um, I'm certainly more of a straightforward organizational type thinker. It was hard for me to figure out how I wanted to create something hands-on for my chosen topic. And then lastly, narrowing down my topic and angle I wanted to apply within my project. I'm sure we can all say we've had a lot of those aha moments or many things we've learned throughout this class. And we really have learned a lot. So I guess trying to figure out that moment for me, or that piece for me within this class, was certainly a challenge. So kind of my angle was, when I looked at my personal career and I kind of aligned that with a piece of my assigned project we did over the Native Americans. First I want to touch on is with my career. I switched degrees from nursing into criminal justice, and since I've started criminal justice, I have wanted to work in victim services. That is ultimately my goal. It is a very big passion of mine: mental health, human trafficking, victim services. So I kind of aligned that with this project. I knew I wanted to incorporate it. Secondly, the epidemic of injustices against Native Americans and the high numbers of missing and murdered Native American women. During my group project, I researched the criminal justice side of Native American history, both historically and currently. It was the first time I was really made aware of just how high the epidemic was of missing and murdered Native American women. I can say it hit me hard. And to learn how hard it can be for those Native Americans to access victim services was just as much horrible within itself. And I found it deeply saddening. It's just definitely one of those silent topics you don't hear enough about and nobody really wants to talk about. And then I also took a piece of my family cultural background video into my project. In that I learned that my great-great-grandmother was Native American, and that she was forced to keep that part of her completely hidden and silent. She wasn't allowed to speak of it. And that was hard to hear, that she had to go through that. So with all that we've learned throughout this course too as well, of course, it made it hard for me to hear. So I kind of combined all of these and used pieces of it to create my own personal, creative project. And I actually kind of made two things to this. So first I made this poster board collage, if you will. I wanted to connect my chosen topic with things we have learned throughout the course. In the center, you're going to see pictures of missing Native American women. They deserve to be seen, have their name out there, have a voice, and definitely deserve way more justice than they are receiving. I've personally found this important to add as the main centerpiece to my poster. And then around the border, you're going to see the hashtag Not Invisible. I'm sure many of you may have heard of the hashtag #MeToo movement, which is recognizing sexual violence and sexual harassment. Well, the hashtag Not Invisible began to recognize and give notice to all the missing and murdered Native American women. And so then with that, I also took pieces of things we've learned to the class that connects with my importance on this topic. Top right is, correlates into me wanting to work in victim services. or the top left, I'm sorry. The top right is kind of in relation to my family cultural background video. The bottom left here is the recognition of human rights. And then the bottom right is kind of that, I guess it's a quote that kind of got to me in correlation with white privilege. Privilege is when you think something is not a problem because it's not a problem to you personally. And then I wanted to add quotes that just kind of fell in the line of all of this that I found them really inspirational, I guess. You know, you cannot change any society unless you take responsibility for it, unless you see yourself as belonging to it and responsible for changing it. When you believe in something, fight for it. And when you see injustice, fight harder than you've ever fought before. I am no longer accepting the things I cannot change. I am changing the things I cannot accept. And love is nothing without action. Trust is nothing without proof. And sorry is nothing without change. So I really, in this, I connected a lot of pieces to the course and then what was important to me. And like I said, the center of this, I just was very important to me to put their pictures out there and make them seen. So the second piece definitely goes along with that. This was my first time making a dream catcher. I had never made one. So it was a bit of a challenge, but I wanted to do this in recognizing and I guess honoring all those missing and murdered Native American women. And so you'll see I did my best at making it into a star. I don't know, I guess like the night sky for my design in the middle. And then I put the hearts with not invisible through the center of it. And then, you know, I connected the feathers. And as you're going to see, my poster board is red. I've got red on the feathers. I used red cord here. And that was for a reason, again, in honoring those missing and murdered Native American women. And that's because, I mean, the red dress has been used for years in Canada as a symbol of missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls. And for many nations and tribes, red is a sacred color. So this is definitely used a lot. You're going to see it a lot in these protests and walks of making this epidemic known. So that is my project. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And again, I apologize for my voice. Thank you so much. Bye.